What if Earth had a second version of itself? A living, breathing replica so intelligent, it can spot a storm before it forms, track forests as they grow, and follow human activity in real time. Not just a map, not just numbers, but a fully interactive digital twin. A virtual Earth built from real-world data, constantly updated second by second. Right now, deep inside powerful supercomputers, our planet is being recreated, tree by tree, city by city, moment by moment. This isn't a copy for curiosity. It's a mirror we can study, experiment with, and even use to fix real-world problems. From predicting wildfires to simulating new cities, this mirror world gives us a new superpower, the ability to test the future before it happens. It may sound like science fiction, but it's happening right now. Welcome to the age of Earth digital twins, where we shape the future not by guessing, but by truly understanding the planet we live on. At its core, an Earth digital twin is the most powerful simulation we've ever created. A digital version of our planet that moves, changes, and evolves in real time. But it doesn't begin with computers. It starts with the real world. Every piece of the planet, its oceans, cities, forests, roads, even people, is constantly being observed by a global web of sensors. Satellites watch from above. Drones and devices scan the ground. Smartwatches and vehicles report movement. Together, they form a kind of digital nervous system for Earth. These aren't just passive tools. They're the eyes, ears, and the skin of the planet, collecting real-time information and feeding it into a vast memory system. Think of it this way. Every gust of wind in Chicago, every car in a traffic jam in Mexico City, every wave crashing onto the shores of Bali is being translated into data second by second. That data flows into massive computer models powered by artificial intelligence. The result, a living digital model of Earth, one that reflects the real world as it changes. But this isn't just a map. It's a full operating system for reality. A tool that lets us simulate, plan, and even rewrite the future. Earth is no longer just a planet orbiting the sun. It's now mirrored in cyberspace. A digital Earth that breathes, learns, and evolves with us. Step 1. Sensing the planet. The first step in building Earth's digital twin is sensing everything, turning the entire planet into a stream of live information. Every second, billions of data points are captured from a global network of technology. In the sky, satellites orbit Earth, capturing ultra-detailed images and measuring weather, carbon emissions, ocean salt levels, forest health, and even the melting of ice caps. In the air, drones fly over forests and coastlines, scanning terrain and detecting environmental shifts. In the water, floating buoys track tides, temperature, and currents. On land, sensors buried in roads, rivers, buildings, and bridges monitor air quality, noise, foot traffic, soil moisture, wind, and even the structural health of cities. Smart homes and power grids send real-time updates on energy use and system performance. And then there's us, humans. Every time we move with GPS, post on social media, or visit a doctor, we create a layer of insight into how we live, move, and feel. All of this data flows into Earth's digital twin. Millions of new inputs every minute. What used to be overwhelming chaos becomes a living system we can actually understand. Step 2. Integration. Building the planet's digital brain. After Earth's data is captured, the real magic begins. Turning it into something we can understand, interact with, and use to make better decisions. Billions of data points per second are sent into massive digital platforms like Google Earth Engine, NVIDIA's Earth 2, or the EU's Destination Earth project. These platforms act like the brain of the digital Earth, taking in chaotic, messy data from everywhere and transforming it into a single, seamless model of the real world. Thanks to edge computing, which processes data right where it's collected, and 5G networks, which move instantly, this all happens in real time. Artificial intelligence acts like a team of digital librarians, cleaning the data, removing duplicates, and adding timestamps, and placing every piece exactly where it belongs on Earth's map. This is called spatial temporal fusion, linking events across space and time. For example, a volcano erupts in Iceland. Within seconds, the system can connect it to flight delays across Europe, jet stream shifts over the Atlantic, and air quality changes in Canada. All the information, satellite imagery, drone scans, LiDAR maps, is layered together like transparent sheets, forming a complete real-time Earth. Imagine a blender, billions of ingredients, temperature, traffic, rainfall, crops, power lines go in. What comes out? A unified 4D simulation of our living planet. AI then powers the organs of this planetary brain. Climate models simulate the atmosphere and carbon cycles. Urban models track traffic, energy use, and movement through cities. Agriculture models monitor soil, crop health, and pest patterns. But they don't run separately. These models talk to each other like a digital ecosystem. A heat wave in Texas changes crop crop forecasts. A spike in population shifts traffic and energy demand. The result, fully interactive window into Earth, where you can zoom from the clouds to a single blade of grass and watch the living planet respond in real time. Step 3. Simulation. Rehearsing the future before it happens. Once the digital twin has all its data cleaned, fused, and aligned, it becomes something far more powerful than just a reflection. It becomes a living simulation, a version of Earth that doesn't just show what's happening now, but can project what might happen next. Using high-powered simulation engines, the twin renders Earth's environments in stunning detail. Cities, rivers, forests, coastlines, all governed by the same laws of physics, biology, economics, and human behavior that shapes the real world. This isn't animation. Every river flows based on real fluid dynamics. Every population cluster behaves based on real-world patterns. Every power line, highway, and city block reacts to change, just like its real-world counterpart. In this digital Earth, we can ask powerful questions. What happens if a wildfire starts near town? How would a disease spread along global airline routes? What if rainfall hits a dangerous level in just a few hours? What if we cut carbon emissions by 40%? What changes by the year 2040? These aren't just guesses. The system can simulate thousands of futures at once using a mix of AI tools. Physics engines simulate wildfires, floods, and earthquakes. Machine learning spots hidden trends and risks. Neural networks help forecast how these patterns will evolve. Behavior models show how people or animals might respond in a crisis. It's like playing hundreds of chess games with the planet at once, testing every move and countermove to find the smartest path forward. And this isn't just a sandbox. The results flow directly into decision-making systems, helping governments, businesses, or AI agents act. For example, rerouting traffic, evacuating flood zones, shifting energy usage in real time. The digital twin becomes a kind of Earth's subconscious, quietly watching everything, running simulations beneath the surface, and revealing the insights we need before we even know to ask. Step 4. Interaction. Turning insight into action. Once simulations are complete, the digital twin doesn't just sit and wait. It becomes interactive, immersive, and alive, ready to help us shape the future, not just watch it unfold. Think of it as a planet-sized what-if engine, a place where scientists, city planners, leaders, and even you can explore different futures before they happen. Using intuitive tools, we can now interact with the twin in real time. Dashboards help leaders monitor carbon emissions, weather risks, or traffic flow. Touchscreen maps let users explore and annotate real-world scenarios. AR glasses overlay digital insights directly onto streets, coastlines, or forests. VR walkthroughs allow planners to walk through future cities or flood zones before construction begins. XR environments let us simulate events across time, space, and possibility. With just a few taps or gestures, anyone can zoom in on a single coral reef or city block, simulate the effect of new infrastructure before it's built. Explore how climate strategies might play out street by street. Watch carbon pathways, energy grids, or disaster responses unfold in lifelike detail. And here's where it gets even smarter. Every question you ask, every scenario you simulate, every tweak you make, the twin remembers. It learns from your inputs, adapts to new data, and evolves in response, just like a living system. What used to take years of trial and error planning, we can now test in minutes. Governments can model resilient city layouts before ever breaking ground. Emergency services can trigger automatic alerts before danger spreads. This isn't just a mirror of the world. It's a real-time collaboration system between humans, AI, and the planet itself. Together, we're not just observing change, we're co-creating it. And through this interface, we're no longer guessing about the future. We're building it. It's not just a mirror, it's a portal to tomorrow. Let's bring this vision forward. Not as theory, but as futures you can see, feel, and shape. 1. Cities that think ahead. Every major city runs a digital shadow twin. Before a single road is built, urban planners test dozens of layouts. Can it handle rising floodwaters? Will traffic choke the streets in 10 years? Where will sunlight fall and where will winds funnel? In Nairobi, planners wear AR glasses to visualize sunlight, water access, even crime hotspots before a building exists. In Dubai, city officials walk through projected neighborhoods, adjusting noise zones and greenery in real time. Design becomes planetary choreography, shaping cities for harmony, not just style. 2. Farming with foresight. A smart farm in Brazil runs its own twin. It adjusts irrigation based on microclimates, predicts harvests, and syncs data with global markets. So a store in France already knows what's growing in South America. In Peru, a farmer scans her soil with a phone. Through AR, she sees a forecast, moisture levels, nutrient shifts, and crop risk. Her yield doubles. Her children eat well. She farms now with hope, but with precision. Earth's twin becomes a guide helping the world feed itself. 3. Oceans that heal themselves. Beneath the waves, drones feed ocean twins real-time data. They detect coral bleaching before it spreads, forecasts fish migrations, and trace plastic drift. On land, we test what happens if wolves return to Yellowstone, how rivers move, how species recover, how balance is restored. Conservation becomes proactive, predictive, and planetary. 4. Healthcare that predicts outbreaks. Hospitals tap into Earth's twin to spot early warning signs. Unusual medicine sales, spikes in social media mentions of coughs, sudden school absences. Before symptoms spread, protocols are triggered. Hospitals prepare, vaccines reroute, outbreaks shrink before they start. Healthcare becomes anticipatory, guided by real-time environmental and human data. 5. Disasters that never surprise. The next flood, fire, or quake already tested in simulation. Wildfires simulate wind patterns before the smoke spreads. Earthquakes stress test infrastructure digitally before building. Hurricanes watch water rise in virtual space, then act before rain falls. After a storm hits the Caribbean, officials load new satellite data. Within 12 hours, the twin renders 3 recovery plans, one for speed, one for sustainability, one for long-term resilience. Locals use VR goggles to explore and choose. Drones begin rebuilding within 48 hours. Crisis becomes choreography. Response becomes readiness. 6. Governments that learn before acting. Entire nations can run in digital form. Real-time simulations model inflation, migration, resource strain, even unrest. In Brazil, a policymaker tests 3 paths. Do nothing, the Amazon collapses in 40 years. Partial action, a brief delay, then collapse. Full reforestation, rainfall returns, GDP rises, tourism blooms. Politics becomes foresight. Policy becomes simulation. 7. Mars rehearsed on Earth. Before we build homes on Mars, we test thousands of blueprints here. Energy cycles, isolation stress, microbial life systems, food production under alien conditions. Only the most resilient plans move forward. Earth twins help us plan not just for this world, but for new ones. 8. Humanity's evolution simulated. Now zoom out. Simulate climate engineering at scale. Restore wildlife across continents. Forecast social policies for equity, well-being, and planetary health. Test economic reforms like moves on a real-time global chessboard. Earth's twin becomes more than a tool. It's a partner, a mirror, a rehearsal space for civilizational wisdom. We're not just watching the future unfold. We're simulating it, shaping it, choosing it together. So, what makes Earth's digital twin more than just a high-tech map? Why is it alive, intelligent, and deeply aware? The answer lies in its layers. Feedback loops, simulations, memory, and cognition working together like a planetary brain. 1. A living canvas that refocuses in real time. The Earth isn't still, and neither is the twin. It uses something called multi-resolution mesh modeling. Just like your eyes focus sharply where you look and blur the rest, the twin zooms in with extreme detail where it matters. Dense cities, fragile ecosystems, and stays broader over oceans or deserts. The digital world expands and contracts in real time, sharpening wherever risk, change, or interest arises. 2. Simulated physics that mirror the real world. Earth's twin doesn't just show you what is, it shows you how things behave. Using powerful multi-physics engines, it simulates how air moves around buildings, how heat waves spread through a city, how a new skyscraper might alter wind flow. Cities become virtual wind tunnels. Bridges are tested against earthquakes before a single beam is built. The world becomes a living lab for pressure, heat, movement, and stress. 3. Cause and effect. From micro to global. What starts small doesn't stay small. Earth's twin works fractal-like. Tiny inputs ripple upward. A rainfall sensor in a rainforest collects hyperlocal data. That data influences a regional water model. The model then affects global trade routes or food supply. For example, a cracked oil pipe in a remote field triggers the twin to project rising fuel demand, spiking prices, pollution drifting into a nearby city. One event, global consequence. Simulated instantly. 4. A nervous system that feels and reacts. Earth's twin isn't just predictive, it's responsive. Picture this in motion. A wildfire sparks. The twin forecast is spread, alerts are sent, firefighters respond. The twin resimulates a new reality in real time. Another example, sensors detect a drop in groundwater. The twin projects lower crop yields, higher food prices, potential migration surges. It sends alerts to agricultural officials before the crisis hits. This is Earth with reflexes. 5. The brain. AI that thinks, learns, and imagines. Inside the twin, artificial intelligence gives it cognition. Machine learning sees patterns we miss. Traffic, tree loss, infrastructure decay. Reinforcement learning tests decisions. Can we reduce flooding if we reroute traffic? Generative AI imagines things we haven't. Where to plant forests that cool entire cities. How to build neighborhoods to lower crime and carbon. What materials adapt to temperature without energy use. Each system is like a part of the brain. Logic, intuition, memory, working together to understand the planet. 6. A planet that remembers time. Earth's twin doesn't just live in space, it remembers time. It knows which streets flood first, which bridges are aging, which forests are most vulnerable to collapse, where a virus could spread from patient zero. It can rewind past disasters, fast forward future ones, and learn from every frame of Earth's unfolding movie. This isn't static data, it's memory in motion. 7. A sandbox for tomorrow. The twin becomes a sandbox of futures where we can test ideas at any scale. Climate strategies like carbon capture and reforestation, wildlife restoration across entire continents, new social or economic systems modeled for fairness, sustainability, and stability. Think of how reintroducing wolves reshaped Yellowstone. Now imagine testing that kind of ripple across the planet. We're no longer guessing about tomorrow. We're watching it unfold, testing it, perfecting it, choosing it. But with such power comes responsibility. We are building the most intelligent mirror the world has ever known. But what happens when that mirror is cracked? Who owns the data? Who controls the model? Who decides what it shows and what it hides? Could a government distort the simulation to rewrite reality? Could corporations tune the algorithms to prioritize profit over truth? Could a tool meant to reveal the world be used to obscure it? These risks are not distant, they are here. Bias embedded in models, over-reliance on predictions that smother creativity and dissent, privacy traded for optimization, a loss of chaos, the very ingredient that births freedom, art, and innovation. Can we trust what we see, or will it be filtered through political agendas, economic motives, or digital blind spots? Will the twin be used to protect or to control, to heal the earth or to watch its people? These are not just engineering problems, they are ethical ones. We must design the system not just with intelligence, but with integrity. Because if the twin is corrupted, if the simulation is manipulated, then the reflection we act on is a lie, and our future becomes fiction. This system must be transparent, auditable, collectively governed. It must be built for all, not owned by a few. Because this is not just a model of Earth, it's a reflection of who we choose to become. We are no longer just observers of Earth. We are now its co-authors. We are no longer blind to our impact. We now have the tools to see with planetary awareness. For the first time in human history, we can hold up a mirror to Earth and ask, how are you feeling today? And the Earth can answer. This is not about control, it's about relationship, a deeper harmony between humanity and the planet that gave us life. The Earth is awakening in digital form. She breathes through sensors, she dreams through simulations, she speaks through data. And now we can finally hear her. We can listen to Earth, not in fragments, but as a living, breathing whole. We can see her soul in code, feel her rhythms in real time, understand her pain before it becomes catastrophe. For centuries, the Earth has spoken through storms, droughts, blossoms, and seasons. Now, for the first time, we understand her language. So we ask again, what will you do now that you can see the world through its own eyes? We've been gifted sunlight, soil, oceans, and air. Now we give back, not just with innovation, but with understanding. The Earth Digital Twin is more than software. It is the deepest expression of care humanity has ever created. A promise that we will no longer act blindly, but in full awareness of the ripple of every choice. This is not a dashboard. It is a new way of being. Not passengers, not victims, not kings, but co-pilots of Earth's destiny. And the question is no longer, can we do it? The question is, will we listen? Will we act? Will we become worthy stewards of the only home we've ever known? Because the future is no longer something we wait for. It's something we are now qualified to design together.